today's spotlight is on Nikki Yee. Welcome, Nikki. Welcome. How are you?
I am well. I loved the picture of me. That was really cool.
I'm glad you I'm glad you like that. I'm glad you like that. So just to let you know, Nikki Yee got her degree in radio and television from Ryerson University. Is that from Canada? Robbie would know who that is. And it's led to work on several film and television productions, including The Art of the Steal, After the Dark, Maps to the Stars, feature films Our House and The Journey is the Destination, and her current work as an associate producer on History Channel's Ice Road Truckers. But outside of producing, Nikki is an accomplished stand-up comedian and folk musician. She released her first EP, The Key of Yee, a collection of comedic protest songs in 2019. In her spare time, she enjoys dance, singing karaoke, and practicing Krav Maga. Did I say that right? Krav Maga?
Krav Maga.
Krav Maga. Gotta emphasize the okay. Nikki, thank you so much for joining the show. So, Nikki, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, something we haven't already said.
Wow, yeah, I know. I feel like like we covered so much of it. I produce movies, I sing, I do pop music as well. I guess that's the one thing we missed was my newest song is called Radicalize, available everywhere, just like your podcast and show. Thank you. It is socialist pop music, which is hilarious because those two things.
Socialist pop music.
Music. Okay.
Yeah, like we're just taking it back and we're putting some Karl Marx on it, taking it away from Jeff Bezos.
Now, I've watched your couch concerts and you're a blast. How'd you get into comedy? What was the catalyst to combining comedy and music?
Well, I was a singer for a long time in my life. I was actually, the first thing I ever did in my life was I was a child model. And the first thing I actually did was I modeled a two-piece swimsuit. So I'm technically a former bikini model. Okay.
After the show, because I used to work for Sports Illustrated, and so maybe we can get you into the swimsuit issue.
Oh my God, yes!
She said,
Me and my ukulele and just fighting the power of my body. I'm already fighting the power of my voice. Fight the power of my body, So, but yeah, so I started out as a very young performer, basically. And then I started doing behind the scenes work, which is how I did producing. But I always had this singing talent. I always had this performing talent. So I started doing stand-up comedy. And I always appreciated people like Bo Burnham or Flight of the Conchords who combined comedy and music. And I was like, well, I actually have all these skills. And there's, to be honest, not too many female musical comedians out there, and especially women of color musical comedians. So I thought it would be, nice to go and represent the girls and get my point of view out there, combining all my talents. So yeah, my next step will eventually be to do interpretive dances because that's my other talent. So
nice.
Just be yourself.
All right. Now, I just want to start right out. You were going to perform one of your singles from your EP, and it's available on Spotify, The Key of Yee.
Yeah.
You're performing Dear John Smith. So let's go ahead and play that.
Yes. So I would like to do a little intro, if that's okay.
Okay.
That I
Absolutely.
usually do when I'm on stage at live shows, but I haven't been on one of those in a year. So. Right, so this is my live show now. So I'm gonna play a song I wrote for you guys, and it's called Dear John Smith. And I was inspired to write this song because I'm kind of like a hippie SJW protesty type person, and I'm always walking around yelling things like "fuck the police" and "fuck the patriarchy" and down with the white man. But I have this problem where I also crave pink dick. So what do you do? What do you do when you're down with the white man, but you could also stand to go down on the white man? So I wrote a song between that rock and hard place where I just love being so much. Back a little bit so y'all can see me. And here it is, Dear John Smith. And I want to dedicate this song to all the white men in the world. And I hope you all go and read a fucking book after this. I go around and claim I'm woke, but my taste in men is kind of broke. SJWs, please don't have a fright, but I want to get with someone white. So colonize me, daddy. Now you get it? Daddy, you can take your big white hands and claim this undiscovered land. Deforest my body for my spice. Plow through my fields of rice. But when I try to cook for you, you'll tell me you don't eat spicy food. But you can colonize me, daddy. It's called seasoning, Dylan.
Seasoning?
We can eat into a little play that you're the head of the CIA. We can reenact the saga of the U.S. and Nicaragua. Imperialize me for my fruit, like it's 1492. Oh, won't you colonize me, daddy? That was a little Christopher Columbus joke. Because the original
1492.
That's right. It's funny, actually. I have to say, Canadians don't know that, but I'm so glad there's some Americans here tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, Robbie wouldn't know that.
Between these luscious sides, daddy, I will nationalize. I like my democracy thick, so overwhelm me with that big pink real politics. Oh, colonize daddy. What did you guys think he was gonna say there? After you have the island, I'll ask you for a helping hand. You'll just look down at me and say no, 'cause you're just a white demon, fly low. But you can colonize me, daddy. So that last line is dedicated to all the white people who have been to Vancouver. I'm sure Rob knows what I'm talking about. Here it is, this first lesson was free of your people's history. Of course, though, you don't give a fuck till you text me at 3 a.m. to say, hey, you up to colonize me, daddy? Okay, so the hosts are here. I am going to use you what I normally do with my live audience, and I'm going to ask you to sing along.
Okay.
It's very easy. You're going to know we've been singing it this whole time. So we're going to sing it all together. I'm going to count you in.
All right.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Colonize.
No, I can't say that.
One more time. Ready? Colonize.
Mommy.
That was beautiful. You should give yourself a round of applause. I would socialize you gladly when you just colonize me, Daddy. Oh, colonize me. Yes, I'm just showing off, Daddy.
That was awesome.
That was a lot of fun. The live audience I've had in a really long time, so it's very nice to have people sing along. So.
That was absolutely
That was
hilarious.
great.
Absolutely hilarious. Bunch of comments online. Kevin Thaxton said this is friggin' hilarious.
Yeah.
Jose says, yes, a fellow Canadian and Ontarian.
That's right.
Mike Winter says, I love Vancouver. Ernest Cooper says, colonize me, daddy, TLS men. I said mommy. I just want to point out, I said mommy.
Okay, you can you can say whatever you want. You know, it's a sweet line.
That was great, Nikki. That's great. So that you said that's on Spotify, right?
It's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's on Apple, it's on Google, it's on Amazon. You can make a TikTok to it, start a viral dance. It's everywhere.
Oh yeah, okay. So you got the sound. Oh, we should probably do a TikTok to it. We should probably do
I
it.
would love to see how you're doing.
Nice. I'll definitely do
Johnny's
that.
gonna do a TikTok. Johnny's gonna do a TikTok.
Nice.
Johnny's always doing a TikTok. All right, so let's get to some of the questions. Lizzie Enders, you have a question for Nikki?
So, in terms of writing, like when your songs come out and people start to analyze your lyrics, what has been the pushback? What has been the response?
So I kind of get two groups of people. There's the groups of people who are like, I love this. I understand this. I've had some poli-sci professors come up to me and say, this is actually how history went. I know that you went to school. And I'm like, I did. And then I get the other side, which is really like kind of fratty white dude bros who are like, why do you hate white people? So
Yeah, that would make sense.
I don't hate white people. I'm asking you to colonize me, Daddy. So that's
yeah, there's exactly. I'm like, hey, is your name Dylan? Because I am there, sir. Like, but you know, it's also funny because I do get some people who are like, oh, and they're usually people of color, and they come up to me, they're like, yeah, I like white guys too. I don't know what to do. They're just so cute though. So
I've dated my fair share of white guys, let me tell you. And I do not hate white people. But I think, you know, in some instances, we need some humor to get us out of this funk, to get us out of this, you know, adversarial, I hate you, you hate me, let's fight, where do you come from, you don't belong here. So yeah, I see the humor in all of it. I might not say colonize me, daddy, though. I might not say those lyrics. But I understand the humor behind it. And even from, you know, looking at the comments that we have, you know, it's funny. It's funny. So that's a good thing.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's also, I'm someone who I have my beliefs, obviously, as we can see in the music, but I like to approach it with a sense of humor because I don't want my beliefs to own me. I don't want them to spike up my cortisol and turn my hair gray and I'm losing sleep over everything that's happening in the world all the time. Because, you know, you can't fill others' cup from your own empty cup, you know? So I feel like humor is a good outlet that can bring people together and we can just let out some of that tension that is everywhere, and understandably so. So, you know, that's where I like to approach it from. I don't feel like I serve my community better when if I was trying to educate people or something. It's much easier for me to communicate with people through jokes. So yeah.
Robbie
So this
Rock?
is not a.
Oh,
This is
okay,
a
this-
show, one quick thing, Robbie Rock. This is a show that doesn't really use like the D word that much. Like we don't say dick a lot. We say
I don't know. You said it a
penis.
lot. You said it a lot last week.
Penis.
Last show.
Penis. That's
Heinous.
what we say. Expecting you to say when you did that pause. I was like, you
Yeah.
say the P. Yes, P. P.
I said politic though, so there was P. It was just a
It's a P
different
word.
P.
There you go.
Your next word could be polidick. Polidick.
There we go. Yeah. I've definitely had some audience members, they're like trying to fill it in and they're like, oh, this? And I'm like, girl, I wrote the pause in, okay? Don't help me. I was like, I know what I'm doing. I performed this a zillion times. So
Robbie Rock.
definitely, yeah, helpful audience members.
I love that you bring in comedy with the social justice message with the education piece. I think it's absolutely brilliant. From a technical side, I'm curious how you came about your musical and vocal skills. What kind of training you've received?
Well, I'm self-taught on the ukulele. So so that's why it's kind of bad. I'm
Is
sure
it bad? I
to
mean, you're the rock. You're the other guitarist. She's pretty good, right?
I enjoyed it. It was for a live performance. It was wonderful. Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I feel like when I watch ukulele experts and then I look at myself play, I'm like, oh, it's kind of bad. But I'm sure, yeah, to everyone else, they don't notice it because really also the ukulele more substitutes the voice and the words. So I'm not trying to be amazing at it. And I did about 8 years of vocal training from the ages of 11 to 18 or so. So basically through junior high to high school. And I also studied musical theater when I was in high school. I went to an art school. So I have quite a bit of training there. I always studied, though, pop, rock. I studied jazz singing. I studied musical theater singing and folk singing. So you won't catch me doing opera. She's a pure alto, but yeah. So that's my musical training, and I still try to supplement it all the time. I'm always, even before this show, I was warming up. I was doing like me mamo moose, and I was doing throat coat tea. So, yeah, just walking around and all those things, you know.
Yeah.
So I still take my vocal craft very seriously, even though it's comedy. So I appreciate you asking me about the music because I do love that part of it.
Before we get to Gianni Storm's questions, Vanessa G says, "I knew the 1942 reference, and I'm Canadian."
Right?
Yes, Vanessa has read books.
Vanessa's a high school history and civics teacher.
Oh, so she would know.
So hopefully she knows the bullshit behind the 1492 reference as well. Like, you know,
I got it too. I don't.
Sure you did,
He
Rob.
was in the
I don't know why I
Sure you
was
did.
called
Sure
out.
you did, Rob.
I got it.
Colonize me, Daddy. Colonize me.
So you can't sing. So Neo can't sing it, but he'll speak it to me. I'm flattered, bro.
Go figure. Go
It's a
figure.
slang poetry version, the spoken word edition.
Spoken word version.
Nothing in Robbie Rock's ear.
All right, Gianni, what was your question for Nikki?
Oh, my question is, I have two questions. I feel like the first
A little technical.
I think we're losing her on her sound.
really.
Wait, try again.
So right now you're good.
Okay. You guys can hear
Yes.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So my first question, Nikki, was where do you see yourself as far as your talent and what you have going on, like in the future, whether that be 5 years, 10 years? Yeah, that's my first question. Where do you see yourself?
Oh, okay. Now I feel like it's a job interview.
Sorry.
It's okay. So it's funny. If you had asked me this question prior to the COVID lockdown situation, I would have, because also part of it is that I'm a producer and a writer and all these things in the film world. So I would have probably seen myself translating some of this to perhaps a sketch show or a podcast or a TV show of sorts. Now that everyone's plans have been blown up, my New Year's resolution is just to kind of see what happens. So I feel like, because in a way with everything that's happened with COVID, is everyone's in the same place. Everybody's at home. Everyone is just staying where they are. We're not necessarily looking to branch out so much. So I feel like in 5-10 years, I just hope that I'm happy and I'm healthy and I'm doing something I love.
That's the best thing. So I have a question about Ice Road Trucker, because I know you're a producer on Ice Road. I'm curious. I mean, there's some cold places. I've watched it. They go some cold places. I mean, are you out in those places?
I don't have to be, thank God. It is actually, I think originally it was filming in America, so I'm assuming it was like Alaska or something.
Okay.
And then when we got it, we started shooting it in northern Manitoba and northern Ontario. But I have to say, the unfortunate thing is with climate change, it's not as easy to film there. The window is closing. So please, everybody, believe that climate change is real.
Yeah, we're actually going to talk about that in one of our hot topics in a minute.
Yeah, so but I don't have to be there, and I wouldn't want to be there. But the crew and the drivers and everything, they are very brave, and I applaud them for being out there. So yeah.
Awesome. So unfortunately, we are out of time. But are there any last words, any shout outs that you want to share? Anything you'd like to say to our audience? And of course, let them know where to find you.
Well, yes, I'm available on all the platforms. I'm on, Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. So you can just type in Nikki Yee or Nikki Yee Flow Show, which I'm sure is highlighted on your pages as well. And you can follow me. I do couch concerts. We do sketches. I do all kinds of fun from home. I make being at home really fun. And if there's any shout out I could give, it's everything. Just wear a mask, please. Take care of each other. Vaccines are coming. We're almost through this. So, please don't have parties. Just stay home and take care of each other, and think of your grandma. And if not your grandma, your grandma's friends or anybody who is compromised. They've really had to suffer through this. So yeah, I just implore everybody to wear a mask.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So don't forget, check out The Key of Yee. It's streaming now on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube, and a few other places as well. So check it out. And thank you for joining us. Now, Nikki Yee, you agreed to hang out a little bit for our game show at the end.
I will be back for the game. I'm so excited.
Awesome.
And thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. All right, so we're gonna wait for you in the game. It should be a lot of fun. So we'll see you then. But thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
That was awesome, huh?
It was awesome.
Nikki, it was fun.
I just need her to put a little bit of bass in her voice when she says her handle, her hashtag, Nikki Yee Faux Show.
Oh, show.
Faux Show. Yes. Faux Show.
At Nikki Yee Faux Show.
Let them know, girl. Let them know.
All right, let's get into our hot topic.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.